All right, moving slow, but we're done. It says done. We
Okay.
are live. Hey, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. It is Saturday afternoon. I know the world has opened up. There's a lot of plans, but today we're making sure we get our 30 interviews and 30 interviews, 30 for 30. Right now, I'm excited about today because I love talking about health, wellness, and things like that. And I have my guest, Kamiko. She is a brewmaster, teacher, and yoga instructor, and she's hailing all the way from ATL. Woo, woo, woo. Give it up for Kamika. Woo!
Yay. Thank you, Shelly. I love all the virtual round of applause, right?
Yes, it's definitely a virtual round of applause. Oh my goodness. Let's start with Brewmaster. We just spoke about this on IG, but Brewmaster and
Yes.
kombucha. So let's start
Yes.
with that. How did you become a brewmaster?
Well, literally because I've been doing it for well over 10 years. In fact, I've been creating this product, as we spoke about, kombucha, for 13 years now. So if you've been doing something for 13 years, you become really, really good at it. And in the space that I'm in, which is kombucha,
Mhm.
yes, um, the product is brewed in order to create a kombucha end product. And let me just explain for those who don't know what kombucha is. Kombucha is a fermented tea. And when we think about, there's two things I want to say. When we think about brewing, what comes to mind for most people, as I said, is beer. But but we're not brewing beer, we're brewing kombucha. When I say fermented, for those who don't know what that is, you can think of something like sauerkraut, pickles, yogurt, sourdough bread is fermented. Yes, these things have, even apple cider vinegar is a fermented product, right? But when we
Mhm.
talk about kombucha, we're talking about fermenting teas. And people use different varieties, right? We won't get into like all the specifics about what is in which types of teas, but I will say in high level summary, it's a fermented tea. And what it is, it's naturally just great for your body. It is good for your digestion. It is a natural probiotic. It helps improve your energy. It helps improve your skin, your hair, your nails. It
Really?
Yes, it infuses. So when we talk about probiotics, some people take probiotic pills,
They
and the
do.
reason, yeah, and the reason why people take probiotics is because probiotics are a thing that our bodies naturally have, but given the way people live, the way we live our lives, some of us don't have enough of that good probiotic in our body to help support our gut. And what we know about the gut, what science tells us is that the gut, the digestive system, is what we call the body's microbiome, right? The body's microbiome. And I say, in layman's terms, that's just the body's garden, right? So when you think about a garden, we all want to have good things in our garden. We want to have great things growing. We want to have good vegetables, good fruits, good flowers, good things that make us feel good and that support us. And that's exactly what probiotics do. So kombucha came into my life because I am mom to five. Yes, one, two, three, four,
Ooh,
five.
ah, woo,
Five humans.
high five.
High five. Yeah. Some are grown now, so they're not, I don't have littles anymore. But when my children were younger, I always made foods and things for them. I did not give my children sodas and sweet juices and things like that. So they drank a lot of water, and we actually made juices. But I discovered this drink just in my shopping one day, and then I didn't know what it was, but I learned about it. I learned how to make it, and I just started making it for my kids. My family loved it. They loved, and what kids will tell you when something is good, right? So
Mhm.
my kids just loved it, and I just started making it for them, and that just went on for years. And just a couple of years ago, this became a business for me. So now I still make it for my family, but now I actually have a full-fledged business based around this particular product, kombucha. And this is one of my bottles. I'll show you, right? So you can
Mhm.
see that, right? And this says Georgia grown here because we are in Georgia. So I have what I call my goddesses of the galaxy, because my flavors have goddess in the name. So this is star goddess, this is earth goddess, And if you look in the background to my right, that's Sun Goddess with the yellow label. And to my left here on the left side, that's Moon Goddess with the blue label. And each of them, and people can learn all about this on my website. I do have a website. Yeah, and it's kombucha.com, right? So we'll share that with everyone who wants to check it out. You can learn more about kombucha, learn more about fermented foods, learn more about me, what I do in that space, right? So that's my product space. We deal in fermented foods because for me, I believe that healthcare is self-care, right? And that our most valuable asset is our health. And so from my perspective, what can we do to support our health? Enjoy life, have fun. It doesn't have to be hard. I know a lot of people struggle with, ways to be healthy. We have all sorts, particularly in communities of color, in Black communities, we're dealing with large rates of obesity and hypertension. And we have stress. Right now, we're dealing with all-time, like high levels, all-time high of the stresses that are going on out here. So as we function and live each day, we're living through a pandemic. This is adding more to our stress level, but how can we support that? How can we support that through our diet, through our lifestyle, right? So henceforth, kombucha, right? And you see my heart's like I'm all about love and yoga.
How often do you have to drink, or how often do you drink the kombucha?
Well, I drink kombucha every day, right? So
how many times? Just once a day?
No, I mean, it's a drink, right? It's not medicine. So I turn that question back to people who ask me that. That's an interesting question. Because it's new, people automatically assume like, well, how many times a day can I drink it? How many times a day would you like to drink it? I mean, I drink, so my primary drink of choice is water. I drink tons of water. I'm a water drinker, right? If I wanted something different other than water, some people stop at a gas station and buy a soda. For me, like my alternative drink would be kombucha. So I drink it like if I have it with a meal, or if I have, if I'm on the go, if I skip a meal, I actually use this Earth Goddess, as a meal replacement because this has greens in it. That's why it has this lovely green label, because it has greens in it, and we know greens are good for the body. And a lot of us don't get enough greens in our body. So if you don't, some people like if you don't like to eat greens, that's an right. But still your body needs it, whether or not you like the taste or not. Greens are healthy for your digestion and they're good for you. And you can avoid them, but at some point, my philosophy is don't wait for a physician to tell you you need to start eating more greens or you need to get on medication or else. There are things you can do to support your body and your health now that don't feel like such a heavy lift, if you will. And kombucha is just one of them. It's meant to be a delicious, tasty, healthy alternative to sodas, juices, and things that are just not good for us.
And how much is one bottle of the kombucha? Or do you sell one bottle?
Yeah, well, from my website, we do not sell by the bottle. We sell by in quantities of 6 or more. So like 6 packs, 12 packs cases, because it's not cost effective to sell a bottle. If you want bottles, right? Here in Atlanta, we are sold in several local markets around the city of Atlanta and where we live. But and we're growing. Like our goal is to be in Whole Foods in 2021. So we look to be there. We also do things like happy hours. So we introduce it to people in a very fun way. So for example, we work with corporate clients. If they, like right now during this pandemic time, a lot of companies are looking to do fun and interesting things for their employees. And so we do kombucha, much like a wine tasting, we do our kombucha tasting, and we do it around a happy hour. We educate people on of what it is. People are able to taste it and ask questions about what's in it. For example, in our Sun Goddess, the yellow label, that is mango, pineapple, turmeric, and ginger. And that combination, it's very tasty, right? When you hear that, right? Like you said, ooh, and that's generally when you say mango, pineapple, people are like, oh yeah, I love that. And that's good. And that's really, so when we do our tastings, that's what it is. We let people taste it, and then we educate them. And it's a fun way to educate people on this product.
So your main goal is to get all over, take it global. And so we want to make sure, support, go out and buy it. So what business strategies do you have in place to actually get it to that point?
Yeah, so we are actively working right now, right? As I said, we are sold in several markets here locally, and that continues to evolve and grow. We're now positioned where we can now go after larger accounts, right? Like we can now go to Whole Foods and Sprouts and Trader Joe's, and those are very popular here in the South. There are other markets like in the North. I know we have like ShopRite and
Right.
Pathmark and the A&Ps of the world. And when you go into markets like that, when you go into, you have to be ready to handle the volume that will be
Right.
requested, right? So that's the type of thing we're doing. And also being able to sell through our website, right? The website is another one of those channels, our happy hours, right? Because working with corporate clients right now, corporate has changed because of the pandemic. People are not going into we don't have these large real estate offices. A lot of offices have closed. People are working from home. So it's not like you can go into the office and then, oh, go grab a bottle of kombucha out of the fridge. So we're working, like we're looking to and talking with corporate entities that will, provide this for their employees at home, allow us to do education for their employees, and then get it to people right into their hands, right at their doors, and where we're able to talk and connect with people virtually over Zoom.
Have you thought about Shark Tank? It seems like one of those things you go on Shark Tank and you say, and they'll say, well, what are your numbers? What did you sell? Why do you value this product at $1.5 million?
Right. So again, when I think about things, and yes, we've talked about Shark, like as a company, right? We've discussed like what our opportunities are. Shark Tank, it's an interesting thing, right? Shark Tank is reality TV, right? There are lots of, believe it or not, there's a whole ecosystem very much like Shark Tank that you don't see on TV. And unless you're immersed in that world, just like, you would have to be in your world of media and TV to know some of the things that are going on in the media and TV world, right? So there are other things, and they're called like pitch competitions in and around the entrepreneurial ecosystem, that are similar to Shark Tank, that offer even more value. I think Shark Tank is not something necessarily that I'm interested in personally for a number of reasons, but Shark Tank like situations, yes, because we are definitely going to places that offer the money and the funding, right? And I will say this too, Shelley. People especially in corporate spaces right now at this particular time, because of the racial unrest that is going on in our country right now, corporations are realizing that they have been diverse, lacking diversity, lacking representation from people of color far too long. And so now many of these corporate entities are opening their doors, opening their wallets, and saying, hey, we know we need to have more like we didn't even realize you all existed, right? Like we've always been like sort of this like second thought, which is, let me just say this about kombucha. Kombucha is this whole world where we are not represented. Like people, I am like an anomaly, right? This Black woman, like in this kombucha space, because kombucha is predominantly a white male dominated space. And so, yeah, as we continue to build and grow, one of my missions in this particular space is to open doors, open eyes, and bring us to the forefront, because we can compete on the main stage like anybody else. We just need the exposure and the opportunities. And that's what we're working for right now.
I think that's an amazing thing. Were you said you started out by making food and drinks and things for your children. Were you always interested in business? Because you have an awesome business mind. So is that something that you were always planning to do? Have you always been an entrepreneur?
So let me say the direct answer to that question is no, but subconsciously, I believe that yes, it was innately in me because my dad was an entrepreneur. I mean, he had multiple businesses. I grew up around business-minded people and people who, my grandparents, my great-grandparents, they all owned their own businesses. Great aunts, aunties, and uncles in Black communities who had little stores and, sold produce and et cetera. And my family, my mom in particular, always said, do for self mentality. You got to do for yourself. You got to, you cannot rely on a job, right? Although, trust me, I came out of corporate America. But let me just say, for the past, as I said, I have 5 children. My oldest is 30 now. So all those years, for the past, some upwards of 30 years, I've been homeschooling my children. I've homeschooled all 5 of my children. Yeah.
Really?
Yes. And my eldest son, I mean, this has nothing to do with our topic that we're talking to today, but he just made Air Force history in that he is the first African-American pilot officer. Yes, he completed a particular training program in there are many Black pilots, Tuskegee Airmen, and we have a plethora of Black pilots that have come along. But in the program that he just finished, he is the first Black officer out of this program. And that's a huge accomplishment considering this child was homeschooled. This was a child who the system told me needed medication, was a slow learner, was not equipped to be in school. I mean, he's the reason why we started homeschooling at age 11. That's a whole nother story, because another son is on full scholarship at Johns Hopkins University.
Wow.
Yeah, he came. So the homeschooling for us and for our family has been a tremendous blessing. It's been a tremendous sacrifice. Right? So during my years of homeschooling, that was my focus. So I focused on my children and building them and bringing them to a point where they can just soar in the world. And each of them are in their own ways. Yeah.
So were you an entrepreneur? Were you an entrepreneur when you were doing the homeschooling? So
yeah. So part here, just a little bit of my backstory. During my homeschooling years, my last 3 children were born at home. They were all home birth babies. And that was during the time when I was early in my yoga practice and my yoga teaching. So during the years of homeschooling and raising my children in that way, when they were younger, I became a yoga teacher. That's how the yoga journey kind of started, right? And so I was teaching sort of on the side, if you will, just kind of nothing real major. And, I didn't open a yoga studio or anything like that, but I've always been, even in my corporate years, I was a tech support person because I came out of technology many years ago. I started in IT, right?
So that's why you like social media, because you're
yeah.
IT.
Yeah.
That's the difference. See?
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's true. I come from I graduated in my degree is in computer information systems. So like technology does not scare me in that way, right? Like I embrace technology, and I knew 30 years ago that technology was going to be the way of the future. So I went, that was my college degree back in those times. But so teaching, what I'm going to say is that I've always had this teaching in me, right? Like I've taught in my corporate days. I used to run training programs back in corporate days. Then I taught my children as homeschool mom. I taught all of my children. I even taught during those years, I taught a 7th grade. I taught Latin and geography and several subjects. I taught writing. I love to write. That's another thing that I do kind of on the side, amongst my many other gifts. I do love to write.
What type of writing do you do on the side? Are you writing for magazines? Are you writing blogs?
I've written some blog posts. I'm actually, one of my heart's desires is to write a book, right? Because I have all these thoughts in my head, all these pieces of my life that have converged and come together and have led me to the space that I'm in today. So I would absolutely, be at peace. I could close my eyes knowing if I shared this story and the things that we've done that have allowed us to become successful, that have allowed our children, right? Because to see my children, people go, oh my gosh, your children. Well, there's a story behind that, right? Like the things that we did, the steps that I took, the things I learned along the way. I mean, I taught grammar and structural writing for several years for middle schoolers.
Wow. You know what? I write for several publications, but I don't feel like my grammar is that good. You should do like an online class, hey, let's get this grammar together.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. Like I did sentence diagramming, parts of speech, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I did all that. But I taught my kids, right? So my thing was I needed to make sure that my children were equipped to deal in the world, because I knew at some point they would not be up under me. So if I'm responsible for their education, I felt that I had to provide them with the very best that I could. And like, I'm an avid reader. I love history. So we spent, like lots of time on writing because here's what I know. A strong reader can learn anything. If you can read well, You can be a scientist, you can be a mathematician, you could be a doctor, lawyer, whatever your heart's desire, mechanic, you can own a business, but you got to know how to read.
You do. Wow,
Right.
that's good stuff. So it seems like you have like this robust business. You have kombucha, which is going to heal your insides. Now you have yoga. Let's go to the yoga piece
Yeah.
of it. So, I
Yeah.
mean, because we're talking multiple streams of income, which you do.
Yeah.
So it's kombucha, it's yoga, and I remember you mentioning something about you're a healer too, right?
Yes. Yes. Because look, healing is, let's take it this way. Let's give a quick example. If you cut yourself, right? You bleed, you are going to, at some point, the body is capable and equipped of creating, closing up and healing. You'll have a scar, and at some point that scar will literally pretty much disappear, given that, depending on the severity of the scar. So healing is the same thing, right? And this is what I know for sure. This is what we know, what science knows, the world knows. We heal from the inside out. If you injure yourself, if you're in a car accident, if you are sick, whatever the case, always you will be told, take this medicine, go home and do what?
Call me in the morning.
Okay, go home. But before you call me, what you got to do in order to heal? Think about healing. You got to go home, you got to sit down somewhere, and you got to do what?
Take medicine.
You take your medicine, but you got to rest.
Oh, I guess we forget about that part. We got to rest.
But that's the part. That's the part that's so powerful, that's so overlooked. If you do not rest, the medicine can't do its job. Right? So when we talk about healing, it's healing from the inside out. So what you see on the outside is a direct manifestation of what's happening on the inside. So when you see people, like looking, prude up faced, or just baggy eyes, or just,
But I don't think it's a health thing, but my eyes from younger, I've always had these two bags.
It could, but that could be for a variety of reasons. I'm not saying what is the reason. What I am saying is
I
that
like to get rid of it. So tell me.
Rest, for starters. How well do you rest, Shelly?
Not all.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Not much. Not much.
So here's what I'll say to that. If you had those little bags, even when you were young, as you got older and now you're not resting, it just compounds the issue, right? It's just compounding it. So the thing is, what are you willing to do in the name of your health? You're not like, look, here's the thing. I'm over the age, let's just say I'm over the age of middle 50s, right? Like I'm high 50s now, right?
Oh, wow.
And I've had 5 children. All 5 humans I haven't adopted any children. I've given birth to 5 children. My health is excellent. I don't take any pills. I don't take any, I rest well at night. But the things that I have chosen to do and have been able to do for myself are things that support my health. And not just your physical health, it's also your mental health. Lack of rest affects your mental health. Again, right now, the times that we're living in, you have got to, it's not a choice, it's mandatory. You've got to stay and be and remain healthy in order to survive. As you get older, it only gets worse. Then you start waking up, my knees hurt, my back hurts, my joint hurts. I'm not resting because I'm not feeling well. I got an attitude because I'm not feeling well. Everything is connected. So I say, this is just my personal philosophy. What are you doing? How are you living to support your health? For me, I know this product supports my health. I know that my yoga practice supports not only my physical health, but my mental health. Because I got, look, you don't raise 5 kids mentally not unstable, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're not raising a family or having, a stable relationship if you're not feeling good. Part of you being able to give to your family and support your loved ones and, take care of, because as mothers, we take care, we nurture, but you can't pour from an empty cup. You can't. And I say, it's not only that your cup needs to be full, your cup needs to be running over. You need to have overflow, because what I give from is my overflow. My cup stays full. I give from the overflow in the saucer. That's how I live. Yeah.
She just said a mouthful, and I'm going to take heed. So before COVID, I had a strict 11 p.m. deadline for sleep.
Yeah.
When COVID hit, I went to bed at 4 a.m. every night
Oof.
and woke up at 6 every day because I felt like I was rushing against the clock. I figured while I had this time, I'm going to maximize the time. But what's left me now, I've been tired constantly.
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep up, but I'm tired. I'm exhausted. And I'm sitting here most of the time at this thing like this.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, oh, my neck. Oh, my neck. Oh, crap. Because I'm like this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
that way of living, Shelly, I will say, it will only go so far. At some point, this is what I say to people, I tell it to my clients, to people all the time. You will stop, you will pause, you will rest, or you will be forced to. So you can choose. You can say, I'm gonna hit the wall. I'm going till I hit the wall. Just keep going with that. Because if you keep going like that, at some point you will be stopped, right? Because the body is not designed to function that way, right? So you just pay attention to nature, right? Like I'm a huge lover of the outdoors and Mother Nature. And, if you look at anything that on my page, you'll see I'm always outside. I step on the ground barefoot, whole nother lesson, because standing on the ground, the earth has its own electrical charges, and we are electrical, energetic beings. And when we step on the earth, we connect to Mama Earth. It's a whole movement called grounding, like just by way of education. Whole nother topic. Bring me back. I'll talk about that too.
Okay. You're coming back. You are definitely coming back. We're going to make this a regular thing.
Yeah. I mean, like, grounding is a thing. And so think, if you just study nature, just the sun rises and the sun sets with regularity. Now, doesn't matter what's going on in the world, the sun will rise and the sun will set. We humans are biologically wired and connected to the rhythms of nature, to the rise and rest of the sun. Right? Native Americans knew that. And that's why, and back farmers, when we were farming, when I say we, I mean we were landowners and we were farming our own land. I'm not talking about when we were enslaved. I'm talking about when we were growing. That's why the plants need water, sun, and air. They need the elements to survive. So do humans, right? But our bodies are biologically timed to rise when the sun rises and go to sleep at night. And when we change that rhythm, that circadian rhythm, we disrupt the natural flows of our bodies. We do. And it causes dis-ease. It shows up as cancer, heart disease. It shows up as kidney disease. It shows up in a myriad of ways, right? But in order to even understand that and pay attention to that, you gotta rest. You gotta get still. Because just like we talk about prayer and meditation, here's the thing, Shelly, there's more. Like, think of your wellness as a pie, like a big circle, and there are slices of this pie, right? So there's physical health, mental health, financial health, spiritual health. There's all sorts of emotional health. There's these different facets of health, right? So when we pray, and I believe in prayer, I believe in a higher power. I believe, right? I'm a believer of prayer. I believe in God, whomever your God or divine or most high might be. I believe. So when you're speaking or connecting with your highest self, your higher power, your God or your divine, you're not like, God. That's not how we communicate, right? We get solo. Some people get their Bibles or their Qurans or their book, their sacred text, whatever it is. They get still, they get quiet. They read, they study, they pray in the solitude of their own personal space. And then oftentimes, people say, I just got this feeling, God spoke to me, I got a message. That comes in silence. That does not come in noise and chaos. It doesn't.
That's the truth. No, I'm with you. I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
Right. But then you start connect those dots. Connect how God speaks to us when we are silent. That, the book of Psalms says, be still and know that I am God, right? That one sentence, be still and know. We're told in the Bible to be still, to rest. People say, I want to be like Jesus. Okay, Jesus was a servant leader. Jesus knew how to go and separate from the crowds, go into silent spaces, get quiet to nourish his body, to eat healthy and good things. You want to be like Jesus? Study that. Jesus taught you that too. So we don't pick and choose the things of Jesus we want to be like, just be like Jesus all the way around. Just get all of that. Because Jesus is the model is there for us. The problem with us, and when I say us, I mean on a societal level, is that we're so busy, and not that word, we're not paying attention to what really is happening here. And it's killing us.
It is. I'm trying to figure out, okay, so we're going to get to the yoga.
Yes.
And you have a couple of tips. I'm going to get myself ready. I have been, for some reason, my left foot has been swelling out of the blue. It just keeps going. So that's when I started I just took a twerk class. I mean, that's just because.
I love twerk. Yes, I can twerk. I can do that too.
Yeah. So I wanted to get up and get out. Cece Minton, she told me do the 21 walk for 21 days, become a habit, so that I could get out and walk. So I did it 2 days except for it rained yesterday. I didn't do it. But I went to the supermarket and walked around the supermarket.
Yeah. Yes.
So
yeah, because the body needs to move. And I will say about, in terms of your foot swelling, so a couple of things. If you wear shoes and wear shoes all the time, it's a good idea to let your feet breathe and to step out of those shoes. And
I don't wear shoes at all. I'm on this computer all day with no shoes.
Well, then have you stepped outside on the lovely green grass and the, just the connection to the earth? Because I will tell you that everyday connections with the earth, whenever possible, can support your healing. It is true. Yes, ma'am.
Stand on the green?
Stand on the ground.
Bugs? It's buggy. What buggy? I like bugs.
The bugs, let me tell you something. The bugs have their place and they're not interested in you, quite frankly. Don't focus on the bugs. Focus on the fact that you stepping on that earth for just even 5 seconds, 10 seconds is going to help you to heal. Right?
Really?
Yes, I'm telling you. I got a book. I got to show you the book. There's a YouTube documentary. It's called Grounding. Telling you, Grounded. ED.
So take off my socks and everything and just go
step on the ground. Yeah, they say the worst thing that was created for mankind was synthetic shoes because it separated us from the earth. How do you think our ancestors were able to travel and traverse tremendous terrains barefoot, no shoes?
Right?
They were strong.
That's why the disciples was washing Jesus' feet. I know that's right. That's why he was walking. Yeah.
That's right. Right there.
Oh man, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do it today because I'm gonna go out. But because I really want my foot to stop swelling. The other thing I would recommend is just elevate your foot because the circulation, because you're sitting down and the circulation is constantly going down to your foot. What that means, like the blood is you're always in an upright position. Something that helps with swelling feet literally is just so that, like, if you're sitting in your chair, you can lift your leg and put it up on the ball or on another chair or on a little table. Yes. That might be fun. Look. So see, there you go. That's right. Out and slid off. My sock slid off the wall. Well, I would have went down. Y'all would be like, "What happened?" She just fell all the way down. But you got to get accustomed to it. But put your leg up. Put your leg up. That helps to reduce swelling. Yes. Okay. Just that. Yep. Maybe I'll take my sock off of that too because they just slid down the wall. But at least my wall is right here. It literally is. I'm short. Yes, that's right. And my wall is right here. Okay, I can do that. I'm gonna go outside. I'm gonna get on the grass. Put the bugs. Yep. Put your leg up. See, you can put your leg up even on your desk. You can put it up. Put it up on your desk. You can put your leg up on your desk. I don't know if there's room for me to do that, but I could definitely do this though. I can definitely Put it
Put
on
it
the
on the
wall.
wall. Yeah, do that. So maybe if you're on the phone talking and you're not necessarily on video, like just take those moments. And that's the thing, Shelly, like just while you're right, you just talking, got your little headset on, you chilling out, got your legs up, and you're helping yourself right there, sipping on your booch right there. Just get your booch.
Yes, yes. We're gonna work on that too. We're gonna work on that too.
Yeah.
So if there's also that's some tips for that. There's also some yoga tips you have. And
Yes.
let me get ready for you.
Yep, get ready for your yoga. So as I said, what we're going to do, what I would invite you and everyone and anybody who's listening, just take a minute and stand up. Get up out of your chair because we're sitting all the time, right? We're sitting frequently, we'll say. And do you know that science says sitting is the new cancer?
Whoa. And that's all we've been doing during COVID is sitting.
Sitting. So it's dangerous to sit for long periods of time. So one thing that we encourage is every 10, 15 minutes, or perhaps every time you take a new call, or you have to maybe obviously, hopefully you're going to the bathroom regularly enough, but if you're drinking lots of water, you will have to get up and go to the bathroom, that you stand up out of your seat, right? And just roll your shoulders back. So we're just going to do this right here. Roll your shoulder, take your time. So lift your shoulders up to your ears, close your mouth, big breath in, and then press your shoulders back and down. You can see I'm hugging my shoulders, like squeezing, like literally trying to
squeeze them. You said you're squeezing them?
Yes, squeeze my shoulders to hug my spine.
Okay.
Like my spine. Lifting, right? Lifting your chest. Yeah. Lift your head up, right? Look up toward the ceiling, right? And then lower your shoulders down, lower your chin to your chest and roll your shoulders forward. So now bring your shoulders forward. You feel that stretching across your back, across your upper back?
I do. I really do.
Just like that. So now come back. So we do it nice and slow. Take your time. Lift up, open up your chest, lift your heart. Big breath in. And then exhale breath, closing mouth. Let the breath come through the nose, rolling those shoulders forward. Very nice. So this is like, you can do this as much or as little as it feels good. So if that feels good, right?
Then
Yeah,
it does feel good.
Doesn't that feel good?
Yeah.
And yes, it makes you feel good. And you want to create mobility, because this is what I'll tell you, Shelly, over time. So let's just take this as an example. So I'm looking straight forward and I'm just using this as a gauge for like what I say, neutral chin. So my hands are at my side. I take a look to my right, whereas I move my right chin towards my right shoulder and I continually press my shoulders away. So this mobility in your neck, have you ever noticed a senior, an elder who cannot turn their neck?
I'm actually dealing with that because I had a car accident years ago, and I have a herniated disc in my C5-4 or whatever that is.
Right.
So yeah.
Right. But it gets worse over time. It gets worse over time. And so if you don't move your joints, you will lose the mobility in your joints. So you want to be gentle because this is your neck. So there's no need to be harsh or like stress it or jerk it in any way. See how far, if you look up, how it feels to look all the way up and allow your head to go all the way back. Breathe and come forward. Yes, now come forward and bring your chin down to your chest. Now just right here, so just lift your head up. So just, we just move shoulders, we move neck. So I want you to close your mouth, because the key thing that I want people to take away from this is that yoga is not all about movement. Yoga is about the breath. So what is the quality of your breath? I always say the quality of your breath dictates the quality of your life, right? So if you have poor quality breath, you have poor quality of life, period. And when we breathe, we ideally, optimally are breathing from this space of the belly, not here, from here. So when we breathe in, the belly pushes out. It's like filling up a balloon. And when we breathe out, the belly contracts. Yes. So breath comes in, fills the body up. Breath leaves. Right. Inhale. So we'll do that 3 times. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more, inhale. And exhale.
Woo.
Yes. Now
That
just notice,
exhale feels good.
you see how you feel just like that? The breath has the ability to calm you down in any situation. It just, that's the breath. That's the power. The breath, we say, is the king of all the senses. King of sense, queen of all the senses is
Queen
the
of
breath.
all the senses.
Queen of all queen of all the senses is the breath. Now we also on the computer, so I want you to take time, just like stretch your hands out. So bring your hands forward, right? Bend your fingers, ball up your fist, turn your fist like you're trying to reach up towards your wrist, and you'll feel here, right? The stretching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you feel that.
Good.
It feels very good. Loosen your fingers and then reach your fingers towards your wrists and straighten your arms. Straighten your arms even more. Now, bring your hands back, spread your fingers out, rotate around, right? Wiggle your fingers around and out, right? Because again, fingers is another thing, our hands and our wrists, right? So you can do that. And if you have carpal tunnel, these are great exercises for your hands and your wrists, right? And just shake it out. And then you should feel, right?
That feels good.
Yes, just little things. So the thing that yoga teaches us is body awareness. Body awareness, right? Like not to wait until my hands swell up and to be like, oh my gosh, what's going on with my hands? In other words, like, oh, my foot is swelling, what's happening with my foot? So if you have the ability and you can rest your hand on a wall or the desk, so I'm lifting my foot here, lifting my knee in order to rotate my foot at the ankle, right? I'm wearing my little socks here. So
Yeah.
yes, you see that? Rotate that foot, work on your balance.
Almost, I don't know if you just saw that. I did almost fall. I was glad this wall was here.
Right. See, so these are little things we can do, and you switch sides and notice that one side is not necessarily the same as the other. You can be playful and you can stretch your arms out and see, you can run, woo, ee, right?
You have great balance. Yes, you do.
Yes, but that's practicing balance, right? Because you don't become balanced. You don't become, and you can have a seat, dear. You don't become balanced by saying, oh, I need more balance. You become balanced by practicing balance.
I'm a practice. That's some great tips. I'm telling you, because I don't know what exactly where this came from all of a sudden, but it came to within this 30 days. It did. It came all of a sudden. It was like, where you come from, foot?
But you know what, too, Shelley? The last thing I'll say is that stress shows up in a myriad of ways, and stress does manifest and sit in our physical bodies, right? The idea is to know what stress feels like. Stress has a feeling, and I'll give you an example. When we learned of the killing of George Floyd, for example, right? We see or hear of it or see the image, we learn of it, and it's like literally like it catches your brain. It just, so for me, what I know, like stress causes me to like get a tight grip in my chest, a knot in my stomach, and my shoulders tighten up when I feel stress. But if you never examine what stress feels like for you, and it may be like a pain in your knee, it could be the back of your head, it could, for different people, stress feels differently. For me, it's just like, it's like, bam, it just hits me in my chest. It's like, oh my God. Like, oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And but the body keeps the score. The body remembers every time you have a stressful encounter, a traumatic experience, your body internalizes that. And so what'll happen is, like, you might say, well, and I'm giving you this is a more extreme example, but you say, you know, in these past 30 days, and then all of a sudden I'm feeling this way. Well, there could be, you know, just the whole idea of this. I like congratulate you for doing this, because it can be stressful to put this type of project on, right? The work you have to do, the communicating with people, people, I don't know how to deal, I can't get on live, or I don't know this or that, and you're educating people. All of that's like raising your stress levels, right? And so it could be like, it's like, bam, bam, it just keep like ding, it's like a ding, 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 body keeps the score. And then at some point, your body's going to be like, hello, I'm not doing this anymore. Like, you would need to pay me some attention. And that's what happens.
Well, I'm going to pay some attention. You definitely educated me on a lot of things. But before you go, let's talk about the difference between I'm sitting in a chair and you're sitting on
a ball. I'm sitting here. Here's my ball. I'm sitting on this nice big ball, my little exercise ball. I sit on this.
And I went and got one too. Look, I got a ball too.
Yes, I like the color.
Why do you sit on the ball?
I sit on the ball because it's really good for posture, right? So when you sit on something like this, right? And because again, now remember, I'm a yoga teacher. I work a lot on my body, I teach this. So I'm much more like probably just aware and adept at it because it's something that I've practiced for many, many years. I've been practicing yoga for 22 years. I've been teaching for 12. So in my teaching and in my experience as a student, sitting on this ball, it supports my spine. It gives me better posture. It helps me to sit up straight. So I avoid this thing here, this rounding, more of a tendency.
I do that a lot.
Yes. So listen, aging is going to naturally take your spine forward. So you want to counter that by sitting up nice and tall. The ball is something too. So you see, like I'm going to roll around on the ball. I'm moving myself on the ball. You can roll and massage your hips on the ball. You can shift your hips side to side and get a little bit more length in your legs and your arm, stretch out your hamstrings. I like sitting on the ball. It feels better and it helps my body to feel better than sitting in a chair all day.
All right, I'm going to try it one time because I'm always
try it. Try a little side. Hold on to the desk. Hold on to the desk. Don't fall on me. I can't come get you. I can't sit on the ball. I can't reach through here and grab you, bro.
Like, man down. She gone.
Hold on, okay.
Yeah. Well, I'll try it again, but it felt like it's gonna deflate. It felt deflatable. Like,
well, you can, maybe your ball might need to be a little bit more air in it. Like first of all, you have to feel comfortable with it, right?
Right.
And it should have it should be sturdy. It should not feel like you're flattening the ball. It should be very sturdy.
That's what it just felt like. It felt like the ball was going down, and it's an old ball, so it's
right. It probably needs a little more air. So I keep mine full, but I like to just roll around on it. So even if I'm sitting, like you can't sit in your chair and rotate your hips. So if I'm standing and I'm doing like this hip rotation, right? If I shift my hips side to side, this is really good for your hamstrings, but I can do the same thing on the ball. So if you stand up and shift, so just pause on one side, pause. That means, and then straighten out your leg on one side, bend. So I'm leaning to my right, I'm bending my right knee and I'm straightening my left leg and I'm leaning over. Almost like you're posing like a model, right? But you feel it.
I felt like that.
Yeah, but you feel a nice little stretch in your hamstring and your glutes. This whole hip side starts to
right here, right over here. Yeah,
right there. Feel it. The glutes. And then you shift to the other side. And now, can you feel the difference? Like the sides don't feel the same. They feel different.
Mm-hmm.
Right? But these are just little things you can do, right? And so I can do that same thing sitting on my ball. So I can go side to side, all the way around. You can do it standing, but I like the ball because you can do it sitting too.
All right, I'm gonna go to the store and get me a new ball. This one's old.
And you can get it from the store. You can order it from Amazon or wherever you like. If you don't want to go out, you can also order it online. They're not expensive. They're like
you should come up with a kombucha brand.
You know what? So it's interesting you say that because I do want to have my yoga mats designed with my kombucha brand, right? Because so that we can have things like that, like the yoga mats, the balls, the things that we use as practical tools to help support our practice are things that we want to create branding for. I love that.
That's going to be awesome. I'm telling you, branding and the whole process is everything. How do you go about marketing all that you do?
Ooh, girl, well, I am active on social media and I'm active on social media, and we also, things like this, like being invited to interviews and sharing now, I'll be able to share that we were on the interview with you. So your audience is hearing and learning about me, a lot of word of mouth. Pre-COVID, we did, like last year, we did quite a few like pop-ups. We were just all around in different physical locations. We did have plans to be in other places in other states this year, but COVID has thwarted that. So we did one. We recently, 2 weeks ago, we did a fairly large event here in the Atlanta area, and it was really wonderful. So, basically things like that, like if we have event opportunities, virtual opportunities, like I said, our happy hours that I mentioned in the beginning, because in our happy hours, so when we're working with companies, for example, if we were doing, let's say it was Google, and we were doing some event for Google employees, well, you might have 100 employees on the platform, and each one of those employees has the opportunity to share, and word of mouth. We also offer incentives for people that share. We do email newsletter marketing. So when people go to our website, you have the opportunity to subscribe to our newsletter, and we keep you informed in that way of what we're doing, the specials we're offering. We've got a really cool special coming up for Black Friday and for the holidays. We even teach people how to make their own kombucha. So if you want to learn how to make it yourself, we also do supply the kits, and we host classes to help educate people on that as well.
Look at this business, y'all. Business.
Yeah.
We want to hope on Grown Folks Radio. We want to help one day that we'll talk about this off air another day, about maybe doing some giveaways and advertising with us, here and there, but do a giveaway type of campaign. But I appreciate you. I'm going to concentrate on my health this week. This will be what I'll do this week, so that whatever's going on with my stress, I'm gonna go outside and I'm gonna stand. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard because I know there's bugs in there. I know there's ants in there. Like, I do know that there's ants in the grass.
So we don't want to step on the ants, that's for sure. And one other thing I'll say, I do also offer private sessions. So if you or anyone wants to have more of a deeper conversation, and just develop some very specific things for your specific needs, we also do offer private one-on-one sessions for people as well. So that could be something. Yes.
Awesome. So give us your website one more time.
Yes. So my website is HTTP. That is the preface for all the internet addresses, and it's just kombucha.com. So it's KEMBOOCHA, kombucha.com. You can also visit me. I also have, again, as I said, I'm on two platforms under the name of Kombucha, as well as Harmony Wellness Angels. And I also have a website in that name as well, harmonywellnessangels.com. You'll learn all about me, yoga. That's what I do. I am all about the bend and the booch. That's me.
The bend and the booch, all things about healing,
Yes.
Healing and wellness.
Healing and wellness, because that, to me, in my experience, what I believe, what I've come to know, is that if you don't have your health, I don't care how much money you have, wealthy people get sick and die, right? It doesn't matter how much money you have. Your health is directly tied to your wealth. Is directly tied to your health. In order to, you got your money, you want to be able to spend it, stay healthy.
Let's go. Let's get healthy. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, Kamika.
Yes.
I will talk to you soon. I'm going to follow up with you soon.
Please do. I appreciate it. It's been my absolute pleasure. I thank you for having me. I thank everyone for listening. I look forward to sharing.
Let me see if anybody on Facebook had a question. I'm sorry.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I did not mean to ignore it, but I was literally just really taken away listening to everything. Let me make sure I don't miss anything on Facebook.
You got a couple of comments in your chat here. Oh, they say, do you advertise on radio or internet radio? So to answer that question, no, but I'd love the opportunity to. I mean, if you or someone would help me facilitate that, I am very open to that. And then so we definitely should talk, Shelly, after this, maybe perhaps after you slow down on your 30 for 30, but we'll communicate via email. I would love to tap into some internet advertising. And then for the person who said she's awesome, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You're awesome too. I believe we reflect each other. So thank you.
Okay, people are watching. Okay, somebody said, I do the probiotic powder.
Yeah.
That's my sister Monica. She said she does the probiotic powder.
Mhm.
Oh, thank you, Tanya. She said she loves my hair. I bought it. Picked it up at the store. You know, we just went to the store and I picked it up, you know?
So
That's beautiful. That was probably one of your comments that you made. So thank you so much, everybody. I think I got them all. You know, I'm not going to put my glasses on to see it, but it's all there. Thank y'all so much for watching. I haven't done probiotics, but we're gonna, like I said, we'll follow up to see what my next steps are, because I realized I counted down March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. It's been 8 months. You know, I didn't realize 8 months had gone by since we've been doing the whole COVID thing, stuck in the house, life changing. So 8 months, that's almost a year of our lives just really, I guess it's just starting to take a toll. But I want to transform it. I hope it doesn't take long for transforming. I hope I can transform it right now. So thank you so much, Kamiko, and I will talk to you soon.
Thank you. Have a beautiful day. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shelly. We will talk soon. Be well. God bless. Okay.
Thank you. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. I am going to get my life. Get your life. I'm about to get my life. I got to get my health together. That is so very important. I learned some stuff. I got to get my posture together. I'm gonna get a ball, but this ball right here, it felt like it was getting ready to go down. Like this thing has been around since my niece who is now in her 30s, and she was a teenager when she bought me this ball. But it's fun. It's a fun thing. I won't be on here long today. I'm getting ready to head down to TGI Fridays on City Line Avenue for the book signing for Rick Watson. Rick Watson's book signing. Get ready to head over there for a moment. So I'm not gonna be on here long. Tomorrow. 1 o'clock. I'm not sure if I feel like he's doing mime today.
What? Can you hear me?
Yeah, you look like you were doing mime. I just wanted to give you some mime.
Say 1 o'clock tomorrow. 1 o'clock.
No, I was doing mime.
Okay.
Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, we're back. 30 for 30, day 18, with my bro, D Lee. D Lee gonna be in the house. Hashtag figure it out. Hashtag figure it out. So it's gonna be a great day. Sorry I have to rush off, but I hope you enjoyed today. Like I said, I'm gonna get my life. I'm gonna get my feet together. I'm gonna get my feet together. I'm gonna put my feet on the wall. I'm gonna do something. I don't know about that bugs and outside thing. I don't know.
I just want to officially say she was awesome, though.
Yes, she was awesome. I'll tell you, I continue to bring. God has continued to bring people, aligned me with people. I work. Definitely, God gave me the energy to work hard on a project like this to bring people who will added benefit to people in the world, and give you some of their knowledge and bottle it up. There you go. Yeah. So I'm going to head on out of here so I can get there. I need gas. I don't know if I'm getting gas first before I go. I definitely do need gas, but that'll take up some of my time. I guess I gotta go get gas. Oh, I'm so upset. I used to have a full serve gas station in my area, but during COVID they stopped. So now I have to actually pump my own gas. I haven't even contemplated going over to Jersey to get my gas.
Nobody is pumping gas anymore. Like
they pump gas in Jersey still.
No, well, yeah, you gotta hand your money on the other side though.
But don't they still pump gas in Jersey?
Yeah, it's the law, but I'm saying now the mandate is you have to have your mask on, and you have to give your money, and it's not even money. You can only use your card, and you have to give it to them on on the passenger side.
I'm not mad at that. I don't care. As long as you pumping the gas. I need my gas station. They used to pump my gas to do that. They need to get with it. I only went to them because they pump gas. I had a whole system.
Hey, to New Jersey.
Hmm?
Let me get this straight. You're gonna drive all the way to New Jersey.
No, I said I was thinking about it. Thinking.
You was even thinking about it
Yeah, I'm thinking about it.
because you don't want to get out the car to pump your gas. Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm wrong. I was getting gas at a full serve place in my neighborhood all this time until COVID. And now I gotta get back out there. It's a problem. You gotta put your glove. I put gloves on. And then I go, I gotta put the thing in. So like you're being exposed. I'd rather not. I'd rather them do all of it. And I just put my sanitizer on. But when I get out the car during this time, I put gloves on. Then I push the buttons. Then I do all the pumping of the thing. Then I gotta take the gloves off, put them in the thing. It's a thing. It's a thing.
It's a thing. I got you. It's a thing. I got you.
It's a thing. It's
Tomorrow,
a thing.
y'all. What's tomorrow? The 17th day?
18. Tomorrow's day 18 with D. Lee.
D. Lee. Power 99, D. Lee.
Yes, formerly of Power 99. How you doing? You want to know who really created that?
Didn't we talk to him when COVID first started?
Yeah, that was for Media Mentor Stuff. That's from one of my courses that I'm coming out with. But yes, how you doing?
I remember talking to him because I remember him saying that. I ain't gonna give it away, but yeah, I remember that statement being made.
Yes. So D. Lee tomorrow. D. Lee is a businessman. He's got Lee's Famous Steaks in Florida. So he opened up a cheesesteak place in Florida. He is a true businessman. He used to own the Laugh House. He had HBO special. D. Lee is literally a phenomenal businessman, and we're gonna talk to him tomorrow. But I'm gonna get on out of here because my time is like ticking. Thank you for joining us right here on the grownfolksradio.com. We do this. We're going to get to some music right now. And don't forget, tomorrow is Dr. Letitia Webb with The Journey. We have some inspirational from 2 to 4. So after we kick it with D. Lee, we're going to get some inspiration music and speaking from 2 to 4 with Dr. Letitia Webb. Yes. Dr. Webb, and shout out to Bruce Webb. Rest in peace. Definitely a relative of the Webb. All right, y'all. Peace and a bye-bye. Thank you so much. I can't turn it off, y'all. Sorry.